1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. Pakistan and Bosnia have agreed to increase the volume of trade and cooperation in different fields. The chairman of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina has called for peaceful resolution of the Kashmir dispute in light of the United Nations Security Council resolutions. The president has underscored the need for further strengthening bilateral relations with Nepal. The advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance has stressed the need for determining well-coordinated support price for wheat to ensure maximum productivity. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference leadership has reiterated that India's machinations aimed at achieving its nefarious designs in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir are bound to fail as Kashmiris are not ready to make compromise on their identity. The Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General to Libya says the Libyan Joint Military Commission has agreed on terms for a ceasefire implementation in the country. And now the news in detail. Pakistan and Bosnia have agreed to increase the volume of trade and cooperation in different fields. The understanding came during a meeting between Prime Minister Imran Khan and the chairman of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Shafiq Zafarovic, in Islamabad today. Later, in a joint media talk, the Prime Minister Imran Khan pointed out that trade between the two countries currently stands at a meager 4.5 million euros. The Prime Minister expressed his gratitude to the Bosnian president for his principled stance on the Kashmir dispute. He said India has been taken over by a fascist regime that not only is persecuting innocent people in occupied Jammu and Kashmir, but also its minorities, especially the Muslims. The chairman of the presidency of Bosnia said great potential of cooperation prevails between the two countries in different fields, including military, agriculture, and diplomacy. Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced Pakistan's intention to provide material assistance to Bosnia and Herzegovina in combating COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister highlighted Pakistan's effective efforts in fighting COVID-19 through smart lockdown strategy and focus on saving lives, securing livelihoods, and stimulating the economy. The chairman of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Shafiq Zafarovic, has called for peaceful resolution of the Kashmir dispute in light of the United Nations Security Council resolutions. In his meeting with the Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in Islamabad today, the Bosnian president said human rights should be respected in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said Pakistan and Bosnia enjoy close relations and his visit will further strengthen bilateral relations. Shah Mahmood Qureshi briefed the Bosnian president about Pakistan's contributions in the Afghan peace process and reaffirmed support for an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned broad-based political settlement in Afghanistan. He underlined the importance of promoting mutual collaboration through optimal utilization of mechanisms of bilateral political consultations, Joint Economic Commission, and Joint Trade Committee. The foreign minister also offered training at the Foreign Services Academy for the young diplomats from Bosnia and Herzegovina. He said Pakistan desires to expand relations with Bosnia in different fields, including bilateral trade, education, culture, and people-to-people contacts. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has underscored the need to further expand and strengthen bilateral relations with Nepal in areas of mutual benefit. Talking to Pakistan's ambassador designate to Nepal, Syed Haider Shah, who called on him at the Iwan-e Sadr in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan and Nepal have considerable potential to further improve their economic, political, and cultural relations. The president also expressed the need for exploring new sectors to further bilateral cooperation, like in agriculture, pharmaceuticals, information technology, textiles, and surgical instruments. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Senator Shibli Faraz, says providing relief to the masses is the top priority of the government. In a tweet today, he said the Prime Minister's announcement of affordable power supply to industries is another important step towards economic stability and creating employment opportunities. Shibli Faraz said the supply of electricity to small and medium enterprises at subsidized rates will help generate employment opportunity for the poor workers. To resolve the issue of circular debt, the Economic Coordination Committee has formed a committee with all the relevant stakeholders. The decision was made during a meeting of the ECC held in Islamabad today, with the advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh, in the chair. The newly formed committee has been assigned to prepare a proposal on modalities for clearing the circular debt of the Petroleum Division. This is Radio Pakistan. The Kashmir Committee Chairman Shahryar Khan Afridi has constituted a multifaceted board comprising top celebrities of Pakistan to play an advisory role on the Kashmir cause. All the prominent media and sports personalities were invited to join Cultural Heritage and Sports Advisory Board for Parliamentary Committee on Kashmir. The advisory board will be a creative alliance aimed at promoting Pakistan's cultural richness both at home and abroad in a bid to project a soft image of the country. Ahsan Mashkoor has been notified as the focal person for the advisory board. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has said Modi-led fascist Indian government has failed to extinguish the spirit of freedom from the hearts and minds of the Kashmiri people, despite exhausting all its infamous tricks and tactics. The APHC spokesman, in a statement issued in Srinagar today, reiterated that India's machinations aimed at achieving its nefarious designs, including demographic change in the territory, are bound to fail, as Kashmiris are not ready to compromise on their identity, culture, and Muslim majority status. He urged New Delhi to resolve the Kashmir dispute in line of its historical background and in the larger interest of the region and the world at large. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and the world over will observe the Jammu Martyrs' Day on Friday to reaffirm the resolve to continue the Martyrs' mission till the realization of their inalienable right to self-determination. Meanwhile, the residents of Batwara area of Srinagar held a protest demonstrations against the anti-people policies of the Indian occupation authorities. A large number of people, including men, women, and children, assembled near the Indian Army headquarters at Badami Bagh in Srinagar and blocked the traffic for many hours. In the United States, counting of votes in the presidential elections is underway. The incumbent President Donald Trump, a candidate of the Republican Party, is contesting against Joe Biden in the elections, who is from the Democratic Party ticket. The candidates need 270 Electoral College votes out of 538 to secure the presidency. According to latest media reports, President Donald Trump has secured 213 electoral votes, while his rival Democratic candidate Joe Biden has secured 238 votes. Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General to Libya, Stephanie Williams, says the Libyan Joint Military Commission has agreed on terms for a ceasefire implementation in the country. Talking to newsmen in Ghadami's city, he said a military subcommittee will be set up to supervise the return of forces back to their camps and the withdrawal of foreign forces from the conflict lines. In the United States, 4 people have been killed and another injured in a shooting incident in Henderson town of Nevada State. In Nigeria, at least 75 Boko Haram militants have been killed during different operations conducted by the security forces in Borno State. According to details, the security forces also destroyed shelters of militants and 4 armored vehicles were also seized. In Vietnam, the death toll from Typhoon Molavi has climbed to 39, with 44 people still missing in Central Highlands regions. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country, while cold conditions are expected in the northern areas, hilly areas of Kashmir, North Balochistan, and Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa during the night and morning hours. Smog is predicted in the few plain areas of the Punjab during morning hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk. And you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official